Now watch this. I never meet with the DIY people. It's meant to be that way. It's DIY, do it on your own, right? But for the first time ever, I want to give you guys a mastermind because I'm finding out that a lot of y'all don't know about that HRA. Most of y'all think you got to have a house to make this work. No, you don't. So I'm going to go in probably 2 or 3 hours, y'all, coaching on a lot of stuff, but I'm going to probably spend at least 45 minutes alone just talking about the HRA. Okay, so please know that because I want you guys to know how you can make an impact and an income tomorrow. There is no waiting with the HRA. Now, if you want to get the house yourself, to house the people, that's a waiting game. You got to find the house, you got to rent it, blah, 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 blah. The HRA, you can start it tomorrow. So all of you people that bought the DIY, inside of it is something called the HRA Business in a Box. That's what you should be studying every day because it teaches you how to get your phone ringing, how to build a relationship, and how to refer out to other people. And if you're real smart, when you upgrade to that group that we're in, guess what we did less than probably 14 days ago? Everybody under our coaching that has a virtual assistant, we put the VAs also inside of that group. So the VAs can also help you, and they're not even your VA because the VAs want to make money. So if you have a house, those VAs can help you fill your house. And I hope y'all understand that because if you don't, that means you don't know what my HRA is. And I got a 14-minute free webinar that'll give it to you. So just text the word HRA to 407-326-0086. Again, if you text HRA to 407-326-0086, and I'm putting it on the screen for you right now. Text HRA to 407-326-0086. 0086, and that'll give you the text message. You click it, you fill in your name, email address, phone number, bam, instant download to get that. Okay. Let's see. Jida says I did HRA webinar. Next is my appointment for website. Yes. So what I'm hearing is that a lot of you guys are getting an automated text 4 days after your purchase, inviting you now to the website creation. Because remember, we build your website even with the DIY. That's why it's so crazy, y'all. So with that DIY coaching, we still build your website, your CRM system. That's on us. Okay. Pam says, is there a certain order to branding your business name, getting your EIN? Yes, there is an order. Absolutely. LLC is always first. Always the first step to any coaching that I have is turn yourself into a business, right? So if your name is Pam Smith, not today, it ain't, not under my coaching, it's not. It's PNS Enterprise. It's PNS Solutions, or it's something else that you thought of, right? But it's definitely not Pam Smith. That cost me a $40,000 lawsuit trying to do this in Derek Forster's name. Dummy me, right? So get an entity. That's your first step to all of this. That could be an S Corp, C Corp, LLC, nonprofit. Doesn't matter. That's a personal preference to each and every one of you. But I will tell you, an LLC is fast, it's quick, and it's cheap. Easy. Okay? I already have a business name, and it has the word home in it. Do you recommend I change it? If you care about business banking, yes, ma'am. If you say, Derek, I don't care nothing about no business credit and business credit cards, Derek. I don't care about being bankable, then don't. But if you want business credit cards, and to be more bankable and not to be viewed as a high risk industry, absolutely consider changing it. Either A, here's some free coaching, or B, you can do a DBA, doing business as, and just do a drop down from it. Okay. Would an ILF be profitable in New York City? Depends on where you're at. New York is very expensive. You will hear me a lot of times pick on New York, California, and some other states that I'm not very friendly of. I also like very landlord-friendly states. But again, my second rule to after turning yourself into a business, this has to make sense numbers-wise, or else you're just running a shelter, and I don't want you doing that. I want you to make money from the great work that you're doing in your community. So it can work in New York City. You just got to buy the property right, or you got to get the right rental price. Because prime example, my beds in Orlando, Florida are $800 per bed. You would be higher than that because you're in New York, New Jersey, California. You guys wouldn't be $800. You'd be $950, $1,000 a bed. right? Because the SSI that they get is going to be more than what we get here in Florida. So depending on where you live at, again, is what you're going to be charging. She said, I see rooms for rent all over the Bronx. For how much? Let me know. Oh, and that's actually Yanni responding to, wait a minute, let me see. Yeah, that's Yanni responding to Enjoy 16. I see rooms for rent all the time over the Bronx or in the Bronx. Yeah. Let me know what part. Someone I know charges $1,200 a bed. See? So again, very doable where you live at if they're charging that. Johnny says over 1,000. Yep. So in Joy 16, yeah, so it can absolutely work in all 50 states. You just got to buy the property right, or you have to rent it at the right price. Yeah. Okay. And what we also tell people that if it's really expensive in your area, consider going 20 miles north, south, east, or west. Sometimes just leaving 20 miles outside of where you are changes the price dramatically. Sometimes 20 minutes, not even 20 miles. Okay. That's how we view that. Watch this and watch me give you some free coaching, Enjoy. This is how you're going to get, and they kind of said it, but I want everybody to hear it. This is how you'll get an idea of what you'll charge. Go to Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and you will type in the phrase room for rent. Everybody in your city do this. They just don't do it with the structure we do. That'll give you a starting point of what you should be charging. But also, you're going to know your overhead. Like right now today, I don't know it. Nobody else in this chat knows it. And I don't want to put you on the spot and say, hey, what is your overhead? Right? Because I don't know if you have a house or is one you're just looking at. But what is your overhead? What is the rental or the lease or the mortgage on this house? Okay. And as you guys see in this picture, I hadn't talked about it yet, but also this is why I like the independent living facility model, because my guys can mow the grass. You can't do this with a group home or an ALF. You're going to get in trouble by making them people do work. My people are so bored, they beg me to do this. So when I first started, I hired a landscaping crew. I hired cleaners. Guys, that was dumb. Why would I do that? And all of these people that I'm housing have that same skill set. So on my mission and vision board right behind my left shoulder, and y'all can't see it, says, God, not only do I want to give these people a place to live, but I also want to give them a job to keep them out of trouble. We believe that if they're busy, that keeps them out of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Make sense, everybody? And no different from you, Kathy. No different that you live in California. I'll admit it's not one of my favorite, right? Not super landlord friendly, very expensive. But I got a ton of people in California that do this. Now, I'll admit, we got more HRA people in California. Matter of fact, I'm going to reach out to Janine White. Janine, if you're here, let me know. Janine White actually lives in California, but she fills a lot of beds for people in Ohio and in Georgia. Dornico had over an 11-bed facility. Janine White and her virtual assistant fill 8 of those beds, and they live in California. Dornico lives in Dayton, Ohio. See how that works, y'all? The HRA works in all 50 states, in case if y'all don't know it. You can live in California and refer to somebody that lives in Boston. You can live in New Jersey and refer to somebody that lives in Texas. You can live in Utah and refer to somebody that lives in Oregon. Hope that makes sense. The difference between the group homes, guys, and the ILF model is that the group home model needs staff. I don't. Guys, we don't have staff with this model. The people are completely independent. Why would you need staff? Unless you get 15 properties and you get so busy that you need some help. But most of us under 6 to 8 properties, you're not going to hire staff. It's going to be you and your family. Because for the most part, these people don't need your help or no staff. You keep on the lights and the water and everything else to keep running just fine. No oversight from your state or your county. I think I put country there by mistake. No regulations with the ILF. But believe it or not, my team and I are building something right now where we're bringing regulations because we don't want people doing it the wrong way. Okay? Oh, Marion, you must have just got here. I spent a lot of time on that already. I got you though, Marion. I don't mind repeating that, but I spent a lot of time on that on TikTok today for 15 minutes. And then I came here and spent, I think, the first probably 15 minutes again going back over that. But sit tight, Marion, I got you. So again, this is all what I don't need with the ILF. No regulations. Clients that are not independent need to be in that license place. Sprinkler system, I don't need that with the ILF, y'all. I am not spending $20,000 on a sprinkler system, y'all. Get the heck out of here with that. I don't need a fire alarm system, but a group home does, an APD does, an IDD does. Make sense? And I'm in Florida, so if I want to start a group home, I got to go talk to ACA. Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration. They run everything when it comes to group homes, ALFs, those senior facilities. Guys, I don't want to meet with none of these people. Because what we do in terms of an ILF, I don't need permission. I don't need state oversight. If you live in Texas, you got to go see these people. If you live in North Carolina, you got to go talk to these people to start something that's a licensed program. If you in Georgia Department of Community Health want to speak to you. Guys, I'm dodging all of these people because I don't need them to do what I do. If you in Virginia, you got to go talk to these people for anything that's licensed, not an ILF. And we talked about this last night, so I'm going to actually skip that one. Then I'm going to go over here to my sister Marion's question. Marion, one more time real quick. How do we find these people to fill the beds? You're going to take your zip code, Marion. And in fact, let's be active with it. Put your zip code in the chat right now, right? And you're going to take your zip code. Everybody do this, right? Everybody put your zip code in the chat. Don't put your address. Maybe some crazy people on here, right? Just put your zip code. So I'm going to put one of mine. You're going to go to Google and type in mental health hospital, and then boom, your zip code. Mental health hospital 27504. And just because I'm going to pretend that it's only me and Miss Smith here and the rest of y'all left and y'all just kind of went outside for a water break, I'm going to go to Chat GPT. Watch this. Watch how Chat GPT can also do this. And Marion, I'm going to take your zip code 27. Marion, tell the people where is that? Because this is just me and you, Marion. 27504. Watch this. Listen to how I talk in the Chat GPT. Using this zip code, please find me local hospitals and social service agencies that I can promote my housing program to. I just let y'all hear how I told that tool what to do. This is called Chat GPT. Watch this. You in North Carolina. This thing just gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just did your homework in less than 10 minutes, Marion. A lot of people will hide this from y'all. I also charge thousands of dollars, but I coach this so much. Listen to what I just told you and watch what came out. Eastern Carolina Medical Center, Benson, North Carolina. Commonwealth Health of McGee's Crossroads, Benson, North Carolina. Benson Area Medical Center. Johnston County Department of Social Services, Smithfield, North Carolina. Harnett County Department of Social Services. These are all the places where you need to go, sis. They need to know you. I even gave y'all the verbiage earlier of what the phone call sounds like, what the email sounds like. Here's the email. Good morning. I would love to take this opportunity to introduce myself and my housing program, Second Chance Housing. We take people from homeless to hopeful in a shared living environment, and I would love to know when I can meet with you and your team so that we can work together to end homelessness. Just like that. Marion, shout me out in the chat if that sounded good and I cater to exactly what you needed. Let me know, sis. If that was baloney, let me know. But I showed all of y'all in less than 10 seconds of how you take your zip code, go into Google, use Chat GPT for it to show you where you need to be going, emailing, calling. Does that make sense, or am I just rambling? Because I ain't seen Marion say nothing yet. Marion, does that make sense? Kathy, does that make sense? She said, sounds real good. And Marion, watch this. I just gave you kind of how the email sounds. Here's the phone call. Hello, may I speak to the director of social work, please? Or the director of case management? Those are the two people, because Marion, I want to talk to the decision makers. I don't want to just talk to Miss Barbara, who's the front desk assistant. She can't help me with nothing. Here's my rule. Don't spend 15 minutes talking to Miss Barbara. Barbara is the front desk assistant. The reason why I use that name, Miss Barbara worked at my hospital for 9 years while I was there. She still works there. I'm going to see Barbara in a couple days to go pick up some checks now. Barbara loves to talk about nothing. So if you get on the phone wasting your time talking to Barbara, you wasting your time. Hey, Denise, good to see you. Miss Denise Humphrey had her first coaching session with me today. She was just like most of y'all, listening, soaking it up, and said, "Ooh, I need this coaching now." Denise has had her own boarding, and her first coaching was with me today. Congratulations, sis. Tell the people where you located, Miss D. Miss D got my personal phone number. No more just YouTube for Miss Denise. Denise got my phone number, y'all. That's how the personal coaching is. But watch this. Back to the point. Don't spend 20 minutes talking to Barbara. That's why you say, "Good morning. May I speak to the director of social work?" Because if you just start talking, Barbara gonna listen to your whole story. And she gonna say, "Oh, let me transfer you to somebody that can help you." Now you just spent 15 minutes talking to Barbara about nothing and she can't even help. So now it goes, "May I speak to the director of social work?" "Yes, I'll hold." "Hey, Miss Julie, how's it going?" "Great. My name is Mr. Derek, and I represent a program by the name of Tremendous Joy. We're located in Canton, Ohio, and we take people from homeless to hopeful in a shared living environment. We work with case managers just like you, that when you're discharging people every day with nowhere to go, you guys can call us. We want to be the stepping stone to where they're going." Simple. Now, to me, I'll admit, I've been saying that spiel for 8 years, so it's really simple to me, but watch me slow it down. Introduce yourself in your program. "Hello, my name is Charmaine Sanders. I represent Tremendous Joy. We take people from homeless to hopeful." Whatever your slogan is, y'all, don't let me give you that slogan. That's just me. "We house the homeless and displaced, and we work with case managers just like yourself." Why am I saying that, Miss D. Ross? I'm already putting it in his head that this is what I do, sir. I work with people just like you. Guys, under my coaching, and Denise is finding this out, a lot of what I coach y'all is in the verbiage. I'm already psychologically telling this guy, "I'm your answer, sir. I'm the guy you've been praying for. Looking for clean, affordable housing? That's me." See how I'm giving y'all the verbiage, Miss D? When can I meet with you and your team? Never meet with one person, y'all. I want to meet with everybody. I want everybody to know me, y'all. I'm only coaching y'all the way I do it. Why would I only want to meet with Miss Sarah? Marion, I want to meet with Sarah, Kathy, Miss Denise, Jonathan, and the supervisor, Mr. Craig. So it sounds like this. When can I meet with you and your team to discuss how we can work together to end homelessness? I want to be another choice for you guys when you are looking for housing. And guys, because the need for this is so great, nobody's turning this down. You're not selling alarm systems. You're not selling that fundraising chocolate candy that your kids come home with trying to get you to sell to people at your church. This is a need, not a want. Lord have mercy. Somebody gonna miss this, Miss D. Marion, does that make sense? Dahlia, does that make sense? Dahlia said, AKA gatekeepers. Exactly. And Barbara can't help you. So immediately ask for the decision makers. But watch this. Here goes some great coaching, because I used to be the guy. What if the supervisor ain't available? What if the director ain't available? My coaching would be baloney if I didn't tell you who else to ask for. Guess what my title was at my hospital, y'all? Discharge planner. I had a bachelor's degree, So they couldn't call me a social worker where I worked at. Here goes some free game. Depending on the hospital and the degree level is what they call your folks in your social services department. Me with my little bachelor's degree, Marion, I was a discharge planner. My coworker that went to school more than me and got a master's, he was a social worker. We did the same dadgum job. So Marion, when you call and you get Barbara, say, Miss Barbara, now just in case if the discharge planner, just in case if the supervisor's not available, I'll speak to the discharge planner or anybody in the social work department. I'm giving y'all the game today. Can y'all imagine what my one-on-one coaching is like? If I talk like this on this live to all of y'all, to thousands of people that'll get this, ask Denise how that one-on-one coaching is. Denise, you better tell them. All the way in Sacramento, California. Didn't I just tell you, Kathy? I got lots of people in California and they steadily coming. Kathy, where are you located and what part of California? Denise, Kathy just purchased the DIY. She's also in Cali. I want to just see how far y'all are from each other, just in case, California's big, so I'm sure that it could be distance, but put in the chat, Miss Kathy, where are you in California? Mountain House, California. So now between y'all two, because I have no clue where that is, how far are y'all from each other? Where is, oh wow, about an hour, that's it? So as large as California is, you guys are only an hour apart. That's a blessing. That is an absolute blessing. So watch this. Kathy Denise is learning the HRA. Denise, guess who should be filling some of your beds, Denise? Kathy. And guess what Kathy gonna want, Denise, when she send one? Her referral fee. And guess what you gonna send when she send that person, Denise? Her money. Because you don't know Carlos unless Kathy sends him to you. So you gotta pay her. That's why it's so cool like that. Lord have mercy. I love it. Kathy says, and I work with discharge planners. Love that. Kathy, if I'm not mistaken, you said something about working in social services. I think I missed it. I saw that Atlanta video on your TikTok. They have a real problem. Yes, they do. Absolutely. Yanni, is that where you are? We've been asked to come to Atlanta to speak, and we're thinking about it. So Atlanta, North Carolina, South Carolina, those are probably our top 3 places for anything live. And they told us to kind of check out that place, Midtown Atlanta, the Marriott or something like that. So we're looking into that. Yanni says Miami. Okay. I work as a deputy in a jail with inmates with mental issues. Perfect. So I thought I saw that. So that means, again, Kathy, that you're not foreign to this, right? You understand this just like I do. You just never done the side of it where you're housing them in your place. Okay. Ooh, Miss D from Charlotte. We're going to come and see y'all, man, Miss D. We be getting a lot of people from South Carolina, North Carolina, and Atlanta. So we're thinking about putting on a speaking engagement there. Okay. And I got family over there in Charlotte. So that's pretty cool too. I see the need for housing. Absolutely. I'm sure you do. Kathy, also check out that video that I posted today where we're hooking up with the Reentry Network. And because you work at the jail, that term may mean something to you. See if you guys have a reentry network. So I'm part of the Orange County Reentry Network now. And I want you to be a part of that in California if they have it. Denise, you too. So find out, no matter where you guys live at, this is for all y'all. See if they have a reentry program for inmates that are being released from jail but need housing. Okay? Good stuff. Super interactive tonight. Thank y'all so much for kind of joining me in conversation, not letting me do all the talking. My voice gets pretty raw. I speak all the time. So thank y'all for just being super interactive too. So on screen is I just been showing the Arnold family. You guys asked me what kind of people we serve. Even though I wasn't talking through it, I'm still showing you. So right here, 18 years and older is the absolute starting point. But I'll admit, just like I talked about last week, right, on Monday night, which was yesterday, the young folks are not my cup of tea. Okay, just being honest. You got to know yourself when you're doing this, guys. What is the community dictating? What is your lifestyle like? And what can you put up with? I'm not real good with the younger crew, but I love these older people, the military veterans. That is my crew right there. Put in the chat, what is your crew? What's on your heart to house? Elderly, middle-aged, working people, military veterans, working individuals, people aging from the foster care system. What is your genre? What is your population of who you're going to house? What is God calling you to? Yanni is like me. I like them veterans because they don't need nothing from me but a nice place to live. Okay? Denise says, so much information, a lot of homework, but excited for the process. And guess what? She does none of that alone. And not for 1 second should she be scratching her head saying, man, what should I be doing now? Denise is my sister now because she's under the coaching. She just called me or text me. So even outside of our set sessions, Denise can pick the phone up tomorrow, anytime from 9 to 5 and just call me. She can call me 15 times a day if that's what it takes to get her where she's going. Okay? Carolyn, me and you are just alike. Elderly adults and veterans, my favorite. Pam, just like you, my favorite. D, just like you, my favorite. Dahlia, foster care and homeless parents, not my cup of tea. But if it's yours, no problem. I gave a long spiel last night that if you don't have patience, if you don't know what you're doing, if you got a busy life, leave that population alone. We don't want to do any further harm because they've already grown up the wrong way. They got crummy parents, drug-addicted parents, abusive parents. So they turned out as bad kids, not their fault. But if you don't have the patience, the heart, and the time, you stay away from that population, y'all. I really mean that. That's not me being mean. And Dolly has probably got it. I ain't doubting her. I'm talking to anybody else. If your heart ain't in it for them young people, you don't drool in patience. I mean, the patience of a saint. Leave that population alone, y'all. Okay? They're vulnerable. They've been through a lot. And they're bad kids usually. And it's not their fault. It's through the abuse, the drug use, the bad parents. So if you're not geared up for that, leave that population alone. Okay? Get something easy like veterans, elderly adults. That's a job all in itself if you ain't careful. But if you got a heart for it, let's go because it's absolutely needed. Okay? All right, so what else we got here? I want to help my nephew and parolees, okay? I also want to do homes for the elderly. Love it. I have personal experience. Great. Love that. Kathy Barrett, how can I connect with you? Good stuff. Kathy, you and Denise connect. The time for the aged out foster care youth is essential. Yeah, absolutely. So that aged out youth guys can go up to age 22, I think it is. So 18 to 22. Because even though they're a teenager at 18, under that system, they can stay there to their, I think it's 21 or 22, right? But there's certain stipulations that they have to do. But just like that pastor that I tell you guys about all the time, and I taught this to a pastor a couple of years ago. Derek, I got a heart for the young. Derek, I want to house the young. He lasted about 6 weeks, y'all, and got out of that. And now today he does great with elderly adults, military veterans, and the working individual. Okay? Because again, that didn't fit his lifestyle, y'all. He's a pastor. He's busy. He got family. He got multiple businesses. That young crew, they need a lot of cuddling. They need a lot of help, a lot of attention. They sneaking people in your house at 1 and 2 in the morning, and they sneaking out too. They throwing parties. Guys, it's wow. But again, if your heart's for it and you're built for it, let's go. But if you got short patience, you got a short temper, you got 5 kids, 3 jobs, and 2 entrepreneurship roles, leave that population alone, y'all. You too busy for them. Okay? Trust me on that. You'll thank me later. Let's see. I did foster care for 12 years. It's hard. I am now raising one of my previous foster children's daughter. Good stuff. So again, Kathy, you have it. Kathy, you've been around jail. You've been around the foster kids. Kathy, you're made for this. You just need the coaching now. So even though you got that DIY, let's talk about soon. How can you upgrade to be to where I'm in your back pocket? You get the one-on-one coaching like Denise. Okay. We got to figure that out for you, Kathy, because you got the background. Because I'll admit, most people that come to me, there is no background. They just heard this and want to get into it. Great. They love real estate, love helping people. Let's go. But Kathy, you got the background in it, kind of like me. You just probably didn't know it was a way to serve these folks and get out of that job, right? And that was me 8 years ago, okay? Bryce says, and Bryce, you've been hanging around us for a few times that we've been on. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I keep seeing your name, so thank you for keep showing up, Bryce. Elderly vets, IDD, again, that's not my game, and disabilities. I'll admit, though, when I do go the IDD route in the future, it'll be completely staffed, and I won't have nothing to do with it. I think I will get in it, but I'll have it so heavily staffed to where I'm not even the face of it. I'm way in the background. Right? So just for learning purposes, Bryce, put in the chat what is IDD so that everybody knows it. I am licensed with the state for community support. Sir, perfect. Okay. So you actually have something else that makes you better suited for that. So I love to hear that. Good stuff, Bryce. Good stuff. Good stuff. So even though that's not needed for the ILF, it actually makes you look better, Bryce. So Bryce, if me and you were to start this today at the same time, you look better than me doing this because of who you are. I would just be some guy. Yeah, I was a social worker, but look at what you said. I am licensed with the state for community support services. Who do you think sounds better advertising this ILF thing, me or Bryce? Bryce does, y'all. And Bryce, if you were under my coaching, I'm going to pretend for 15 seconds that you are. I teach you to use who you are with an added value to you getting in this. Here's some free coaching, Bryce. Watch this. When you're trying to rent your place, Bryce, from some regular Joe Smo guy, or even when you're working with social workers and case managers, you should always throw in their face. Oh, sir, and by the way, not only am I BNR Solutions, but I'm also licensed by the state for community and support services. We also offer independent living for independent adults. I just happen to be licensed, so I cover both if need be. Lord have mercy. So just like if you were a nurse, I tell people, even though it's not needed, use it when you're talking about it. Bryce, I would be upset if I found out that you advertising this and you're not using what you paid for and what you paid your time into. Make sense? You say, I am licensed. Bryce, nobody else says that and can say that and be telling the truth. So just like if you say, well, Derek, I'm a nurse. So if people say, what do you do? Oh, my name is Bryce Robinson. I represent BNR Enterprise, where we take people from homeless to hopeful. Oh, and by the way, I'm licensed through the state for support services. Lord have mercy. Put in the chat if you think Bryce sounds better that way. He said, exactly. Do y'all agree with that? Why wouldn't Bryce use that, y'all? Make sense, everybody? He paid for that. His time, his talent, his treasure. It wasn't free. It probably took a bunch of time and hours, whatever. We're going to use that. Make sense, y'all? So if you a nurse, if you a CNA, Kathy, that goes all into your bio, your spiel, your about us. Don't get me on that. Talk to me, sis. Where my sister at? Where she at? Miss D. Miss D, don't get me on that about us and how we create that. That's later if you got into my coaching. All right, so let me take this down real quick. Actually, no, I'll just leave it up because you guys are also seeing the stuff in the background. I'll just leave it. So let me go into the chat again. I'm from the adopted system, so I get it. Good stuff, Dahlia. So you're somebody that I would say, again, I would use that, Dahlia. What if you say that, Derek, I do want to house the teenagers aged from the foster care system. Guess what's in your spiel? Oh, by the way, Mr. Case Manager, I also am somebody that went through the system, so I absolutely get it. This is why we have opened up our program to serve this population. So you somebody that hasn't talked the talk, Dahlia, you walk the walk. Most of us can't say that. So what you probably viewed back then as this bad thing, today we use it as an uplift to tell people who you are and what you do. Make sense? I'm so glad that we even got on this. I forgot how it started. I think it started with my brother Bryce, but simply using what's already in your background, simply using what you've already done in life. I don't even know if Bryce is using that license, but why wouldn't he say it when we talk about it with this thing that we're trying to start? Because I'm assuming Bryce wants to start an ILF. I don't know. I hope he does. I would use that. Ms. D said, indeed, absolutely. Okay. All right. So Pam says, is support services the same as in license for group homes? I'll let my guy answer that, right? I won't even go there. My about us will be my chance to toot my own horn. Yes, it will be. And if you were under my coaching, Lord have mercy, I'll make you sound so good you wouldn't believe it. Oh my God, because we use Chat GPT just as a hint. We use an AI tool to help us. We put in your information, but we tell the tool to just make it better, right? Reword it and make it better. Okay. Yes, sir. Good stuff. Thank you, Dolly. I appreciate that. So let's see. Jillian said that makes Jillian, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you also in California, Miss Chong? Let me know if I'm wrong about that. Jillian, where are you from? I mean, not from, where are you located? That's a better way to phrase that. I think Jillian is also in California. I could be wrong about that. Let's see. Bryce says, yes, I do. I purchased the ILF 101 bundle, then got it for free on your live the next day. Yeah. So, hey, Bryce, I would actually recommend that you get the DIY at least, and we would actually put that towards it since you did it. Because just like I tell everybody right now, especially right now, I wouldn't buy none of my books, none of my curriculum individually. The DIY is so affordable right now. It just doesn't make sense to buy one or two books. And I gave the example the other day. Somebody bought a HRA book. They bought the, what was it? The ILF 101 bundle, and they bought something else. Came up to like $300. But in my mind, why would you spend $300 on just 3 items when the DIY has everything I've ever created? And all the videos of me and the paperwork. So I don't know if y'all are understanding that, guys, but that paperwork cost me $8,000. I give that to y'all in this package. You just brand it to your own name now, right? My lawyer built that. So consider that, everybody. And if you are someone that did purchase a book separately, but you're thinking about, the DIY or the one-on-one coaching, let us know, because I'll apply what you've paid already to make sure that that goes towards that price too. Okay. Also, Bryce, don't forget, with that bundle, you probably don't even know it, but that bundle comes with a free discovery call. So after you've read those 2 books and went through that 15 mini course, let my team know. Let Jess know at I put in the chat 407-813-1335. I put it in the chat right here. I said, hey, Jess, I bought that ebook bundle, and Derek told me as soon as I watched that webinar to call you, and you arrange a phone call. Okay, so I'm putting it in the chat right there. Let me put her name. It's Jess, 407-813-1335. Yep, he said, yes, I would love to do that. How can I do that? Yes. So again, that same number. So if you want to text, so if you're referring to what I said first, I would text that to that number scrolling below, that 407-326-0086. But if it's just a phone call, you can just call Jess and tell her that. But if you wanted to upgrade and just use what you paid, let us know by texting that number, and Jess will send you an invoice tomorrow for that remaining. And again, anybody that has purchased that DIY, don't forget, you guys will start getting emails tomorrow, and you'll get them all the way up until the actual event. It'll be a Zoom meeting. I'm going to spend it easily 2 to 3 hours with you guys on a Wednesday. And I'm going to just pour into y'all in terms of how to get started right now. Forget about you getting a house. How can you make money 2 or 3 days leaving me that day? That's what I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about. Okay. Somebody said, what is IDD? He put it in the chat, but if I can remember, guys, it's intellectually disabled, something. He put it in the chat. Let me go and find it because I want everybody to know that. Let's see. Here it is. I keep forgetting that word, development. So intellectual development disabilities, that requires a license, staff, state oversight. Okay. Our model does not. But what he was explaining earlier, guys, is also how he was licensed through the state to help serve people like that. So if you just joined us, sir, who asked that, we were just giving him advice of, whatever you guys have become in life, whatever class you've taken that you can pad up or pad who you are to make you look bigger and better, add it. So if you took a course 8 years ago as a CNA, I don't care if you practice it or not, you tell people. When somebody says, hey, what do you do, sir? Oh, glad you asked. I run a housing program by the name of Robinson Solutions. And by the way, I'm also a licensed through the state. Always add that other thing, right? Just like you, Kathy. Oh, and I also worked in social services at the jail as a deputy. Like, let them know that, like I'm not foreign to this, y'all. That's really what that does, is just letting people know that you're not foreign to the idea of what this is. Okay? Bryce said, perfect, will do. Good stuff, good stuff. What is the DIY package? That's my one-on-one coaching, but just drop down to the do-it-yourself way. So my one-on-one coaching, guys, is $4,997. That's $3 away from $5,000. I take care of the tax. But the DIY, do-it-yourself, is only $497. And you get everything. We build your website, CRM system, my $8,000 worth of paperwork, every ebook I've ever written, every coaching I've ever done, all the coaching, all the paperwork, all the videos, everything. You just don't get me as the coach, as my number to be able to call me. But a lot of people love it because you get that paperwork. And if you upgrade to that $47 a month for that group, that gives you access to me still in our Telegram group Monday through Friday via text. And then we meet every third Wednesday of the month. So you kind of sort of still do get me. And that's why a lot of people say, Derek, that's why I'm getting that package, bro. You mean to tell me that I can get something for $497, be in a group where I can still access you to ask all my questions for $47 a month? I'm getting that. And that $8,000 worth of paperwork, I want that, Derek. So again, guys, many years ago, I went through a lawsuit. It cost me $8,000 to get the paperwork right. Because I care about y'all so much, I don't want y'all making mistakes, I give y'all that paperwork, okay? So that's a big part of that package to me. The paperwork and the website build out alone is worth its weight in gold. Because at that point, guys, I'm giving it away, okay? Think about that. My team builds your website. I got to pay them. I give you $8,000 worth of paperwork, every ebook, every curriculum, every video, every shot. And again, for $47 a month, that's what, $1 and some change a day to be in a mastermind group with like-minded people with the virtual